CZR. CZR is a totally amazing system that I've worked on for about 5 years. And I have a lot of other systems that I worked on for, over 20 years before that are kind of in CZR inside the organs and the skeleton of it. And I follow global news and I do all the normal stuff and I read all the thoughts of the world leaders and stuff like that. So that's in CZR. But what I want to express in this is that I'm making the claim, which I believe is true, that CZR Global is the end, the complete end of the drug trades. No one's ever had a system that could claim that or do that. But CZR is able to do that by this one thing. It has AI, forms recognition, and intelligence discernment to be able to detect things and sense things from a distance between 500 and 500 feet and a couple of miles even farther across the bay of an ocean by a city. Your telescopic uh, reach from the CZR up on a hill is could be up to 2 to 3 miles, and you're actually dead solid on something that's a drug activity. And it's found by the AI. So here's why it's the end of the drug trade. Imagine driving this hypercar down the street. It's kind of loud in the new CZR, so you have to kind of back off on the gas. When you do step on it, though, man, does that hurt your ears? And it rips. So, uh, but that has the power that we need to escape. I would say gunfire. That's the main thing. So that will speed us out of an event if we're detected by the drug net. Because once CZR is operating, or just one thought comes to a drug net, and they say, well, they're using hypercars to surveil us with like technologies. Once they get that, they'll check hypercars with their hypercars, and while they might even shoot people that are innocent, they'll see a sports car go by, and they might shoot out the tires because they don't want to take the chance that that's like a CZR or something like that. I don't have that as too much in the story yet, but that's what it's stepping into is all the complexity of being undercover with hypercars on both sides. CZR's hypercar undercovers and drugnet's undercovers. And crime nets like the Ken Men, they do data crimes and hacking. They're a hacker group globally, and they have hypercars. So there's three sets of hypercars in my story. There could be more. There's the Ken Men, there's the drug nets, and then the CZRs. They all have hypercars. They don't know who's who, and they can't seem to identify it. And there's all these tricks, and it uses all this the agent tricks that we know globally. Like if they see one of our pilots get out of the vehicle somewhere, well, he's wearing sunglasses or something when he gets out, or he's wearing a mask, or he's wearing something, and they can't identify him, or they can. They got the ID, but he's jumping on a jet at the airport. He parks his CZR in the airport parking, and he jumps on a jet and he goes off to like Paris, France, and jumps in a hypercar there because he speaks French and American. So, well, he could be used by the French to stop drugs there. Those are the tricks that are in the CZR, the agent tricks. But the power to stop the drugs is that all these cameras that are hidden around the car have digital zoom, very powerful, clear pictures that it takes in video, and it's used by the AI brain, which is it's incomprehensible because all around your car it could be it's picking and choosing and making judgments about literally millions of objects. That's never been done before ever. That's the power of AI CZR, as it can process and detect and sense millions of objects in one evening driving this this supercar through like a city like New York City along the bay. Um, but there's a question that arises right away that we would say, well, that's surveillance that is illegal. We don't want that in our society. But at some point, we have to slow the drug trade down. We have to decrease it. I mean, when I first started CZR, I think the drug trade was only $250 billion globally. 5 years later, it's like $680 billion. That's only 5 years. Come on. We can do surveillance. Come on. We can do AI surveillance of people that we suspect are drugs. And it's all done intelligently, too. It's not just randomly. It's done intelligently by tips, by evidence, police evidence, witnesses, everything. It's all in the AI. Oh, it's like billions of things in this one program called AI CZR operating at one time in the active memory and software. You know, so it's really powerful, and that's the end of the drug trade because it'll find stuff. Like we looked around and found some of it, but we can't pay 10,000 agents to find drugs. But the car was the equivalent of like 10,000 agents. And it found this, and it found that, and it found this, and it gets, you know, transferred back to the warehouse, constantly finding evidence of drug nets. And so, therefore, I mean, that's the end. That's the end of the drug trade. So thank God for AI, you know. And let's just take the surveillance aspects of the CZR and saying, well, it's not bothering anybody. It probably won't even take your picture. It's just that it's capturing those that are guilty. It's finding them. So I would say, to stop all the drugs and the killings and the murders and the trafficking of, people kidnapped and stuff. Well, you can take my picture with a CZR. I don't care. That's going to save somebody's life, but it probably won't be taken. The picture won't be taken. It's just kind of a swath of these cameras that are just taking a look and trying to find things according to the evidence, build that evidence, the warrants, the busts, the raids, and let's get this drug trade completely abolished.